Police cars right by the street, they run the air conditioning. I was out there in that field. That was so cool. Okay, so stress go away right quick. I said, no, that's not a good thing. It has benefits. It does have retirement benefits. It has sick leave attached to it. It has 401k. There are things that one should take in what I call a monetary reward. But other than that, you got a reward that you're helping somebody each and every day. And so this gives you a good opportunity to do that. You know, a lot of people like doing it. They want to help. And of course, you look at what you're doing now. It's still helping. You're trying to get information to the general public. And so, but it's how you go about doing it.
Oh, yeah.
Right. You have to look at it again. I call it teachable moments, and we all have them. And sometimes you make mistakes. I call mistakes of the heart. Mistakes of the mind and not of the heart. You know, intentional things is different, but a mistake of the mind certainly is excusable, and you try to show the person a better way. That's what happens most of the time. Generally, I want to believe that people are good. May have had some bad behaviors and someone not be able to guide them properly. You know, that's not an excuse, but if you look around, you know that the guidance, the structure around people, certain people, is just not there. And I think probably one of the things is continue to communicate it as much as we possibly can, to get other people to communicate it, that have truly looked at the data, so that they know. So I'm trying to say we're obscured the numbers. I call that that's a major flaw in their mind. Some, again, I think want to perpetuate this thought in the fact of trying to shoot down certain individuals, certain leadership, but it really has nothing to do about who's in the seat, okay? I tell you what it does, it has something to do about all of us. And I repeat that, George, at the end of time, because I know that the best model for crime fighting is police, citizens, business people working together. It is never one way. I tell people, don't buy things off the street. When you buy flat screen television off the street, where do you think you get it from? You know what I'm saying? You're perpetuating the problem.
You're right.
And so you're not.
You know, but everybody wants to buy that $45 LCD TV.
Right. Right. But it's wrong. It's wrong. It's dead wrong, and all you're doing is continuing to carry a person down a path of destruction, and at the same time, it might have been your house that you broke into, or your neighbor's house. Buy nothing off the street. Buy from legitimate businesses. That's what you should do, period. And but the thing is, a deal is no deal. That's no deal. And somebody's always selling clothes and jewelry, you know, and saying, I got to do this to live. I don't buy that either, because I came up just as poor as you can come. And I always found something to make a living, okay? I always found somebody that would feed me, okay? All I had to do was just go by a particular house at a certain time of the day. I know what time supper was, dinner. If you're there, you behave halfway decent, they would say, come on, have something to eat, okay? And that's how we made it, okay? And it didn't take much anyway. You know, it was to just be a good, decent person. And that's what I would tell another person. Yes, if you work and you keep working, you may not be making the dollars you want, but have some purpose, have some vision that you want to shoot out there, and you will get it eventually. But it's not coming without hard work and effort, period, okay? Don't need to use any more excuses about this person down against me, this person look here. No, sir. You're responsible for yourself, especially if you're mentally competent, okay, and fully grown. You're responsible for your I call it for your being, and you can make it. Whether it be raking leaves, cutting grass, washing cars, there's a lot of things you can do, and that's what I did. Use your hands. Everybody eat so you can cook. You can make money. There's plenty of ways to make a decent living, other than stand on the side of the street and sell drugs and further go down, send other people, you know, what I call in a backwards direction. That's been a 20-year-old problem too, George. In the mid-'80s, and I think you might have read in one of the newspaper articles, you saw what one of the young ladies that the Telegram interviewed, said she was out there in the mid-'80s. Well, we, a lot of us that was here, recognized about the time crack cocaine was introduced to Rocky Mount, a little bit of heroin on the street. Around about that same time is when street-level prostitution began to be obvious, okay? Can be very overt. You arrest them, it's a misdemeanor crime, you arrest them over again. Sometimes you even do stings and you get what I call the John, okay? Well, that has so much of an effect. You get churches involved and trying to get, to provide the type of spiritual services and to try to help people like that. All over time, I would say, to some extent, it lessened for a little while, and then it pops right back up again. So because you got persons that are either addicted on drugs, okay, and then you got the person that's going to continue to perpetuate the problem. It's a never-ending cycle. When you have the prostitutes recently, a couple of them said that this addiction, I wanted it, regardless of how many times I got arrested, I still wasn't going to stop. Okay, that means you're not going to stop it there. But I would tell you this here: as tragic as it is, there was the number of young ladies that has been found deceased certainly has slowed down the overtness of prostitution on the street. And I think also it brought out a strong level of support from the community in the sense of the moms group, soul survivors. When you have those two groups like that right there, which I call very, very close to the people, also showed something probably to some prostitutes that may feel like they didn't have this structure, this caring. But I know they'll put their arms around them, okay? But they also, there's another piece in it where they see that their life could have been taken, okay? Stop taking the risk. Is it still occurring right today? Sure, it's still occurring. But they're more cautious about it. I ride right through one of the neighborhoods where I know every day because I go home that way, where I used to see overt prostitution. They stand out looking like they're looking, for someone to pick them up. You don't see that today at no time of night, okay? And I know this for a fact because it's not where I got to go out of my way to go there. It's my way home. It's my way back anywhere I'm traveling Rocky Mountain. And so at best you may see sometimes someone sitting up on a porch, and if you sit there for long enough you might see them try to wave you that way. But it's again a person addicted to drugs. So treatment centers are needed for persons again that's addicted, and need lay people closest to them to reach out, because even sometimes the family members can't get them turned around. If you look at the Elizabeth Smallwood case, which again has never been a rule homicide, but her sister said in the paper, you know how hard it is, and you keep trying to, you love somebody and you're trying to get them to do right and trying to get them to change, and they won't change. So the family gets to their wits' end and don't know what to do, and still love them, but this addiction is pulling them.
Yeah, well, yeah. The thing about it is nobody ever wakes up one day and says, I want to be a prostitute.
By far. By far. Everybody, I think, had aspirations and dreams to be something great. And once that, you go down what I call that dog hill, it's hard to turn it back around, And then after a while, you get to the point, I guess you just don't care, because it is strong.